Hello everyone. In today's video, we will be talking about the language translator, and the subtopics which we will discuss is problem domain, and then we will see why do we need a language translator, and in the last part of the video we will see what are the different types of translators. So let's start with the problem domain first. Consider the following scenario where we have a Mr. John. Now Mr. John can speak different languages like English, he can speak French, Spanish, Arabic. So all these languages are called natural language. Now on the other side we have Mr. Computer, but the problem with Mr. Computer is it can only speak machine language, that is a language of zeros and ones. Now the problem here is Mr. John cannot communicate with Mr. Computer because they both have different languages. So both of them cannot understand their language. So Mr. John is thinking about how can I communicate with Mr. Computer. Now here is the solution Mr. Computer is suggesting. Mr. Computer suggests that, hey John, we need a language translator. So we need a translator that actually translates your natural language to the machine language and from machine language to the natural language. So there are a few reasons that why we need a language translator. So the first language is, obviously it is very difficult for the programmer to write the code directly in zeros and ones. The second reason is it is very difficult for computer to understand the natural language. And the third point is, why do we need a language translator? When we want to communicate between a computer and human, we do need a language translator. Now let's see what are the different types of language translator. Well, we have three different types of language translators. We have a compiler, then we have interpreter and assembler. But in this video, we are only going to discuss the compiler. So what is compiler? So compiler is a kind of translator that translates all our program at once. It means if we have written a code of 1000 lines, then it translate all 1000 code of lines at once. Just because it translate all the program at once, so the execution time is really very fast. Once the compiler translate, it creates a duplicate copy which is called object code. Let's see it with the help of a picture. As you can see in this picture, I have written a code of 7 lines. The code which I have written is called source code, which is your original code. Now, if the compiler is translating this code, then first it will create the exact duplicate, which is called object code. Now let's see how it works with the help of diagram. Let's say I have a code which is hello. If the programmer writes a code, it is called source code, which is the original code. Now I'm going to send the code to the compiler. The compiler, the major responsibility of compiler is translation. So it is translating the code. So what it will do, it will first create the object code, which we have already seen. The object code is actually the duplicate of our original source code. And then it converts the code, it converts the natural language code into machine language code. So this is how compiler works. Thank you so much.